Hi guys. Think I've got everything working. Hopefully YouTube will keep working this week. I'm not sure what happened there. That was really weird. But it looks like it's going. Let me get my chat up YouTube. Oh, I've got some people on here already. Hi Crystal and Becky. Thanks for sharing, Becky. Oh, I forgot to turn this down. Let me turn this down here. Make sure this is muted. Okay. There are a lot of things you have to turn down when you get going on live. Oh, hi Christy. Glad you're here. And Anne and Marva and Carrie and Janet. Thank you so much for coming, guys. Say Crystal's from Iowa. Becky, let's see, I'm not sure where Becky's from. I know Christy's from Central Indiana. Anne's from Arizona. Carrie's from Alabama, and Janet's from Pennsylvania. So we've got people from all over. Glad you guys are here. So hopefully, if you're on YouTube, can you let me know that you are definitely seeing me and everything's working? I am really paranoid after last week because everything said it was going and then it didn't do anything for quite a while. So I just want to make sure you guys are seeing everything. Hi, Robin. Robin's back. Yay. Oh, hi, Teresa. Over on Facebook. Glad you're here. Okay. Well, I think we're going pretty good. Let me double check and make sure. Yeah, everything's looking good. Okay, so hopefully no technical difficulties this time. It'll probably be me making mistakes because I am so tired today. I'm about ready. I think I'm waking up now. Usually when I get going with the live, I start waking up, so that's good. About half an hour ago, I was getting a little worried, thinking, I've got to wake up or I'm not going to be able to do this. Okay. Thanks, Robin. Oh, thanks, Ann. Good. Everybody on YouTube said everything's looking good. Yay. There's such a big, long delay between, I think it's at least half a minute behind, or I'm at half a minute ahead of you guys. That's what I meant to say. Okay. Well, this is my last Christmas in July card class at home. I can't believe July's over. It's, well, just about over. I know we have a few more days left, but this summer is just flying by. Really not. I like fall, but I'm still not quite ready for it. I'm still want summer. I'm not ready for it. But I have to admit, today could do without the real hot weather we're having today. Indiana got hit pretty hard. Not as hard as some of you, but the feels like temperature was at least 100 degrees today. Real high humidity, kind of yucky. Okay, good. I'm seeing a lot of people telling me everything's looking good on YouTube. So let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and do some business stuff real quick, and then we'll do the door prize. I'm going to do things kind of out of order this time. Um, bonus days ends on Monday for earning coupons, that is. You'll have the whole month of August to redeem those coupons. So if you still want to get your $5 coupons, make sure you get that order placed by Monday. That's the last day. So it's every $50 before shipping and tax on your order, you earn a $5 coupon code. Say you do a $100 order, you'll earn 2 coupons, and Stampin' Up will send you one email with both codes in that one email. And make sure you don't lose those emails because it's only generated once and they can't look it up for you again if you lose it. So make sure what I do, I've got it copied and pasted on some sticky notes I've got on my computer. And then I've saved the email too, so that way I've got a backup plan, just in case. Oh, hi, Donna. Seems to... Oh, is your order growing? When do you get back to the U.S.? Hopefully it's cooler up in Canada, because I don't think you'd want to be in Arizona right now, because it is really hot down there, I heard. Okay. Let's see here. Let's go ahead. Oh, yeah, with the bonus day coupons, then... And you've got the whole month of August to get those coupons redeemed. So I've accumulated quite a few. I'm excited because we've got pre-order for the new holiday catalog. That's one of the many perks we get as being demos. And I've already seen the catalog. My goodness, I am in trouble. Teresa, how about you? It's got so many good things in there. Not just the Christmas. I really love the fall and Halloween stuff that's in the back too. They've really done a good job this year. So that's what I'm going to be using my bonus day coupons in August for my pre-order. Okay, and then I'm going to just bring up the online exclusives one more time since I'm going to be using the So Very Merry stamp set. That's part of the online exclusives, one of the new ones. I ended up using all 3 of the Christmas sets and the online exclusives that came out. Technically, the truck one last week is not just Christmas, of course, and I showed you that in the class last week. And if you missed that class, you can't get the card kits anymore. Yeah, isn't it awesome, Teresa? I love it. So if you you can't get the card kits anymore, but you can still watch the class if you want to. So go ahead and check out. You can check that out. There's a link below in the video description. Okay, I always want to tell you about Paper Pumpkin in case for the new people that are on. This month it's Meaningful Flowers. You've got until August 10th to subscribe, and you're actually going to get 2 stamp sets. Oh, hi, is it Chris down in Iowa? I hope I'm saying your name right. Yeah, but you get 2 stamp sets with the Meaningful Flowers Paper Pumpkin kit this month. So if you like getting exclusive stamp sets, you might want to subscribe, and I've got a link to subscribe down in the video description. Okay, last but not least is the class I'm getting ready to do. I'll go ahead and go over this real quick, and then we'll do the door prizes. The So Very Merry stamp set. I have to admit, I struggled a little bit making these. Oh, good. I'm glad, Chris. Good. Struggled with making these only because, it's not because of the stamp set, we don't have too many Christmas papers right now. So we've got that beautiful open horse sleigh, one horse open sleigh. I knew I said that wrong. DSP, and I was able to use that on a couple, but it didn't really kind of go with the stamp set too much. Yeah, these would look a whole lot better if I had Christmas paper, but I still think you're going to like them. So if you like them but don't like the DSP, no worries. We'll have Christmas paper real soon, and you can make them with the new Christmas paper. But if you place that $35 order before shipping and tax using my host code, and that's that V as in Victor, AAW7, V as in Victor again, P, and M as in Mom. And you'll see it in the most of the screens. You'll see it down in the bottom left corner when I start making the cards. You can also click on the card class at home link back below in the video description, and you can get the current host code right there too. But you get that $35 order. You get the card kits free, 2 each. If you place a $50 order before shipping and tax, I will also add a full pack of the Festive Pearls that I use on the cards. Now, I don't include the embellishments in the basic card kits. So if you don't place that $50 order, you can always, if you have the Festive Pearls already, you can use those, or you can substitute with other embellishments you have on hand. Okay, let's go ahead and do some door prizes here. I'm missing, I'm sure, a ton of people on YouTube here. Oh, yeah, Christy, I forgot you were over there. Your demo, too. It's a really good catalog, isn't it? I'm really excited about it. Both Chris and then Chris's. I've got 2 Chris's, one on Facebook and one on YouTube. You're going to like it, Chris Lamana. You're really going to like it a lot. Oh, hi, Patty. Glad you're here, too. Okay, I think I've said hi to everybody so far. If I'm missing you, I'm sorry. Sometimes it's hard to keep track of everybody. Okay, oh, I have to show off a card. I don't think she's on here. Nope, I don't see Mimi's name, but I've got to show you. I got Happy Mail today. I was so excited. Isn't this gorgeous? I just had to show you. She was just wanting to send a thank you note for some embellishments that she won. Isn't that card gorgeous? I love it. I have not got this stamp set yet, and I can't remember the name of it, but I really, really like it. It's a beautiful card. But yeah, I like it a lot. So I just had to show that off because it's really pretty. Mimi did a good job on that one. Okay, now door prize time. Now I'm going to, I still never heard from Barbara Gibbs. Let me see if I can get that angled right. There we go. She won the Glossy Dots assortment. So Barbara, if you're watching, Petal Park, that's it, Jeanne. Thank you. I knew it was something like that. I was thinking Petal something, and I couldn't remember. That's it, Petal Park. But yeah, Barbara Gibbs, if you're watching, just click that contact me link below and give me your mailing address, and I'll get these mailed out to you right away. But you won those last week, so congratulations. So, hi, Jeanne. Okay, then I've got now for everybody that, oh, thanks, Paula, for sharing. I appreciate that. Here is, no, that's what I'm using. This is what I'm doing. These were, let's see, the classic matte dots. Always have to angle it just right so you can see them. There's always a glare. But up here, there's white, vanilla, basic gray, and basic black down here. And the white and the vanilla ones, you can change to whatever color you want with Stampin' Blends. And I've used these a lot. You want to make sure, oh, everybody, I'm sorry, I've lost track of what I was saying. this was for everybody that watched the live last week. Live and the recording and commented got put in this drawing. So I'm going to go ahead and switch cameras real quick. And then I'll make it a bigger screen because you don't need to see. It looks kind of cool if I can get my thing to work. We're going to make this bigger. There we go. So that's everybody that commented. So thank you so much, guys. Now, one thing, the door price is limited to people that live in the United States. I can only do business with people in the United States. Plus, the postage costs a lot more. And since I'm giving these away, I can only afford to mail it out in the U.S. also for that other reason. So let's go ahead and click on this. Let's see who won. Hopefully you're watching. Oh, I thought Christy or Chris were going to win there. Crystal Niebaum. And I'm probably not saying your last name right. Sorry about that, Crystal. So you've won. Congratulations. Let me get this off of here and get back to me. There we go. So congratulations, Crystal. Let's see. I don't know if you're watching. I thought I saw Crystal. That might have been the names I put in. Oh, yes, Crystal, you are watching. I thought you were the first one that commented. Congratulations, Crystal. So if you could, I don't think I have your address. So if you could click the contact me link below in the video description and send me your mailing address, I'd really appreciate it. I'll get these mailed out to you right away. Okay, now I want to show you the door prizes for this week. I'm actually bringing back 2 that weren't claimed. I've got a few of them actually weren't claimed. So make sure you contact me and watch the video too so you know if you've won or not. But I'm going to bring back, since this is Christmas, I thought, well, I'll try these one more time. I've got this, my last pack of the red rhinestones. I can't remember who didn't get this, but I thought, okay, we're going to try this one more time and see if somebody wins this one. So these are the red rhinestones. These are for everybody that is commenting during the live. Will get put in the drawing to get these. So these are just the people that are watching live. And how I do this, for those of you that are new, I'm going to be doing, the drawing of what I will do, that wheel we just saw. I will, as soon as the live is over, I will put everybody's names in that commented in that wheel. I'll do the wheel myself, and then I'll come back and post the winner. So on Facebook, it'll just be in a separate post there on Facebook. On YouTube, I'll put it in my communities tab on my YouTube channel, and I'll also put it in the comments section of the video, recorded video. So when this is over, it'll be recorded video on YouTube. So it'll be the regular comments in below the video, and then here on can't talk here on Facebook, I'll just put it in the comment section too under the video. So I will put that to the side, and then everybody that's watching the recording. So if you're thinking, oh, I missed the live, I'm just watching the recording, you can be put into the drawing to get these elegant faceted gems. I use these a ton. I probably should be using a different camera because that's not too bad. But these are, I love these. I use them all the time. So this is for everybody that watches the live and the recording. So you'll be put in the drawing with this. And for the winner of this one, I'll announce it in next week's live, just like I did here a minute ago for last week's. So the door prize is out of the way. Congratulations, Crystal. Glad you won. Okay, now I'm going to go down here. We're going to see what you get with those card kits, and then I'll start making these cards. And now that I'm down here on my table, I can now keep my comments on YouTube up. There we go. Okay, they are sparkly, aren't they, Chris? I like them. Okay, now these are the 3 packs. So everybody, if you place that $35 order before shipping and tax, oh, hi, Michelle, glad you're here. You get enough to make 2 cards of each, any embossing. So I actually only embossed this card, but I do the embossing for you. I do die cutting for you, except if it's a stamped image. But this time, I'm going to be using the 2 3/8 inch circle punch for a couple of these, and I will go ahead and punch those out for you because you can stamp on those since it's a clear stamp set. So, oh, thanks, Michelle. Those are kind of pretty, aren't they? Okay, so let's go ahead. Oh, that's the kits. And then if you pump it up to that $50 order, I almost forgot, you get the Festive Pearls added to it. So all of these, this is $35 before shipping and tax. Bump it up to $50 before shipping and tax, and I'll add the Festive Pearls also. And this is my partial pack, but this will let you see all the pictures. I don't want pictures, colors. We've got cherry cobbler up here. Let me get those a little closer. Cherry cobbler. These were soft succulent. So if you have that color, those will match, but it's just a really pale green. So it's really pretty green. I like that a lot. Silver and the gold ones right down here. And as you can tell, I've been using these a lot, and this is not my first pack. I love these pearls. They are so pretty. So I'm going to put these to the side. Okay, and start with card number 1. It's going to be my real red. These are real Christmassy looking colors that I'm using today. Oh, yeah, the second one doesn't have any red or greens in them, but it's got like blues and yellows, and I still think of that as Christmas. I really like. I have to admit, the second one I think is my favorite, and it is a fun fold card too. I always like doing fun folds. Okay. Let's see. Carrie says, I can't wait to see what you do with this stamp set. I'm considering getting it. I really like it. Like I said, the only reason I struggled with it this time was just because I didn't have any Christmas DSP. Except for the one horse open sleigh one. But I really could have used some really pretty Christmas paper in here. But this still works. This is from the Regals 6x6 Designer Series paper. And it comes in, it's a 6x6 pack. I always said that. That's right. You get two, I'm trying to think. Okay, you get 4 of each color in the Regals, but it's 2 designs, 2 double-sided designs in each. So it's actually 2 designs in each color, and you get 2 of each. There, that makes more sense. So this is the shaded spruce. So actually, I can show you all the designs here. So it's this one, and this is what's on the other side. And then there's this design and this design. So you get 2 of each of this one and all the 10 colors, and you get 2 of each in this design and all 10 colors in Regals. There, that made more sense. I'm better at showing than explaining when I can't show. Okay, so here's my real red card base, 5.5 by 8.5. Oh, good, Michelle. I'm glad you like that paper. I mean, it really is neat. I like it. It can definitely work for Christmas. It's not real Christmassy, but for other cards, I really like it. I like the designs in them. You can use it for a lot of stuff. Go ahead. And my camera started doing weird things. That wasn't a technical thing. The stand I have, it kept falling down. So I'm hoping it stays up. I've got it a little higher than I normally do now, so it'll stay up. So that was why I was about a minute. Ooh, it just made that squeak. You know, the fingernails on a chalkboard, that's what that sounded like. Ugh, hopefully you didn't hear that. That always makes me cringe. So we've got the card base all folded. Here is a piece of basic white. It is, I know I wrote this down, 3 1/4 by 4 7/8. Okay. And I'm going to be putting these on. It's going to be not really a quilt, but I'm using, I like using card layouts like this that makes you can use some of your scraps of your DSP. So it's going to go on like that. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to stand up so I can see a little better. This one that I'm working on now, this one is a 3 by 1.5 inch piece. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to line up. Let me just put this down and then I can show you better. The sides and the bottom of the white that's showing are the same width. Okay, that's what I'm going for. And that's what I'm going to go for here too. So this one is 3/4 inches by 3 inches. And I'm going to put this, I'm going to line it up so the long edge is pretty much lined up with the edge of that DSP. But then I'll show you again because my hands are in the way. I know you can't see real well, so I'll get those out of the way. This border and this border up here are about the same width. I'm not going to worry about the border in between all the pieces because it was impossible with these sizes because I wanted to keep these sizes like this because it makes it easier with working with a 6x6. I want to make sure I had enough paper for all of you. This is a 2 by 3 inch piece. So this gap is going to be a little bit bigger, but I'm mainly looking on these outer edges because I'm going to be covering up a lot of that center section. So there is a bigger gap here, but a 1 inch width, we wouldn't have a gap at all. And then I could have probably gone to 7/8. But 3/4 works better dividing up a 6x6 page. So that's why I stuck with that. So I'm going to go ahead Oh, wait a minute. I almost forgot. I'm going to do some stamping on this first because it looked kind of plain. Putting this over here, and this just being a regular red card base. So I'm going to use this stamp here. Oh, I forgot to show you the stamp set. I always get so anxious. I want to make the cards and I forget to show you some stuff. So here's that So Very Merry. I love the stained glass look to these. That's what makes them so cute. And I'm actually using every single stamp in the set. There we go. I really like this. It's a really cute one. Now, I'm not doing it on today's card. Hopefully I'm planning on doing this probably in another video. There's a stained glass technique, and that takes heat embossing and things like that. And I try to keep these classes to where people that may not have a ton of supplies can still make them. And you'd have to have the heat tool, a bunch of different things. So, but I'm going to do, these would look so neat in using that stained glass technique. So I'll be doing a video on that. Hopefully, maybe not for another month or so, but I'll probably take a little break from Christmas because we've still got some other cards we need to make before then. So I'm going to take this stamp here. I'm going to use my Real Red. You've seen me do this a lot. I like to stamp the same ink color as the cardstock. Oh, yep, I did get it, Pam. Are you waiting for yours? Hopefully you won't have to wait too long. Let's see. And there is so much you can do with it, Donna. I agree. And oh, yeah. I was looking at it on my Facebook. I have to bend down to see my Facebook. Because I've got my camera for my face on that one. And if I move it up to where I can see the comments better, it messes up my other camera. So, okay, so I'm just going to stamp. I don't need to stamp the whole thing. I am doing a little wider one here because more of the cardstock shows from over here. And as you can tell, I'm kind of moving it, twisting it different directions. So let's do this one totally different. And I bet I could do this one like that. Okay, so that's what it looks like there. I had a feeling you probably couldn't see it very well. Now, I'm not done yet. I am going to do the border here. But I just need to do the border. Because that is all that's going to show once I put that DSP piece down. Well, not inking this up very well. There we go. That's better. Now, I'm not usually I use a V when I kind of did that over here because more of them were showing, not a V, a triangle. But doing a border, it is kind of straight, but I just want to make sure that we see a little bit of the design because not much of that is going to show. But it didn't look right with me not doing anything on it. So now I'm going to bring this in. Grab my seal. There, I thought I had that out. And originally I was going to put this in the center, but it didn't quite look right since this is longer than widthwise. So you could definitely do it that way. Let me get on the screen again. Like that, but I'm going to move it over. I liked it better on the right. Okay, so now the base of it's done, except for the inside, of course, but I'll go ahead and stamp that quick. I need to grab my chamois here. Gotta get all this red. Oh no, I've got red on my finger already. I don't need to get that on my project. There's something about red and bright blues that always get messy. Okay. So now I'm going to do this in Tuxedo Black Memento. I am going to be doing some coloring with blends again. I could, if you wanted to, you could just stamp this. Let's see, I think I like it better this way. I could just stamp it in red and be done with it, but this time I decided I was going to color it in. So I'll put that to the side. Now here is the circle. This was punched out of a piece that was 3 inches by 2 3/4 basic white. And I used the 2 3/8, there we go, 2 3/8 inch circle punch. This is in the annual catalog. And it's a perfect circle for this image here and the angel one that you'll be seeing here on the next card. It's a holly, Patty. It's got little, it's got leaves and it's got a couple little berries. So I'd say it's holly. Actually, well, you'll see it better once I start coloring. Okay. Now I'm going to put some ink on here. And I have found, for those of you who are new, with the tuxedo black, if you twist as you're pouncing, it actually inks it better. I'm really not sure why, but that's what I've found. So now with this being a clear stamp, I can go right on that circle. I don't think it's going to be perfect, but it's going to be close enough. Oh, that's not bad at all. I'm impressed. There we go. Oh, you're welcome, Patty. Okay, now, you know what? Let me see if I get this screen up a little closer, because that is kind of far away. Hopefully, I won't get out of the screen too much with it that close. So now you might, hopefully you'll be able to see a little bit better, because that holly was pretty small. Now I'm going to grab a piece of basic white. This one is 2 1/4 by 1 inch. And I'm going to do the greeting that says, "'Tis the season to be jolly." Now this one I wanted to do in a color. I'm not going to do the black. I'm doing shaded spruce. So all 3 colors of ink pads I'm using are from the Regals collection. And this will just fit right here in the middle. Actually, I'm going to go more to the right. There we go, because this little corner is going to be tucked under my little Santa circle. So that's why I'm going to move it over just a little bit. It's pretty close to the center. If you do it right in the center, it's still going to work, because that's what I did on my first card. Okay, now I'm going to get that out of the way. I think I'm ready to color. Yes, I am. So let me grab this. Hopefully you can see that holly a little bit better. I'm going to be using my shaded spruce blends and my real red blends. Now, I'm not going to be doing blending. It's going to be kind of like what I did with the, what set was that? I can't remember, but there was one set I didn't do a lot of blending. It was more just to have different shadings. I think it was the horse and sleigh one. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the dark shaded spruce. I'm just going to color like every other, kind of going back and forth, alternating. Because this is going to give me that stained glass look. That's why I'm not worrying about blending at all. Let's do that one there. And this needs some dark. Okay, so I've got the dark done, and now I'm going to take the light shaded spruce and color in the rest of them. Now, sometimes with the colors, you might have to go back and add some more dark to make it darker. Because this one I think I'm going to be fine. There's one color that I really do. A lot of times I will add more dark, just because it takes 2 layers to soak through the cardstock a little better and makes it show up better. So hopefully you can see that. I think you can a little bit. Now, some of them are dark and some of them are lighter. I'm going to do the same with the berries with my real red. This one is the dark one. So these have little sections on the berries too. So I'll do a dark one there. Let's do a dark one here. Now I always use the brush tip. I'm using a real light touch, because this is very pointy. When you have that light touch, it does color in a very small space. Pretty easy. Now I'm going to use a light real red and color in the rest. And this one I think I'm going to add a little more dark to the dark areas to make it show a little better. I have a funny feeling this little one, you're not going to see it very well. The Santa one, you're going to be able to tell. But I've got that all colored in. Now I'll bring Santa Claus in here. I decided I'm going to need Daffodil Delight. We don't have crushed curry. The dark Daffodil Delight looks just like crushed curry, so it works out just fine. So those are the colors. Oh, and I'm also using, we've got one that's called Ivory and Bronze, and I'm only going to be using the Ivory, but I want you to see what comes in the set, because ours always comes in sets of 2. So this is my dark one again. I'm going to alternate again. This one you'll definitely be able to see a lot better. So I'm going to do this section, and then skip one, and do this one. I'm going to go over it a couple times. Like I said, that dark needs to be a little darker. And then this little stretch over his shoulder, I'm going to do that one. And then I'm going to do the center one here on his sleeve. And let's see, what else do I want to do? I think I'm going to make it this. I think this is his hand, because it looks like that's what's holding on to the bag. So I'm going to make that red too. And there's a little bit of red under the bag right there, so I'm going to make that dark red. Now I've got the light real red. And now I'll just go in and color the rest of them in. But having the two different shades really helps make this look like a stained glass. Let's see here, do this one. And it's okay if you go over the dark a little bit with the light. You don't want to do it too much or it will blend a little too much. But there we've got the difference there. You can definitely see that better now that I've got it closer up. Okay, let's grab the shaded spruce, and that's what I'm going to do his gift bag in. So I'm going to do the dark shaded spruce here. I have to admit, shaded spruce, a lot of times don't use it that much, but this green looks so pretty with the real red. I really like it. I'm going to remember that because I was going to use old olive, and then I looked at the shaded spruce. I thought, oh, that's actually a little brighter, and I think I like that. So I'm going to put a little bit right here, and then another one over here. I decided I was going to have a little more of the light shaded spruce than the dark on his bag. And then the rest of the bag will be with a light shaded spruce. As you can tell, this doesn't take long to color in either. Get this all done here. Because I would have done this ahead of time. It was going to take too long, but it comes together pretty quick. Now I'm going to leave his beard and the little snowball kind of thing on his hat and the brim white, because that's usually the way Santa looks. I'm going to grab my ivory and color in his face. There's his nose. And if you want it to have two different shades, we can go over it again and make it that a little darker and leave his face a little lighter. And then I thought this would look really pretty around him to be yellow. So I'm going to use my Daffodil Delight. Now, it really doesn't matter if you start with the dark or the light with this, because since we're not blending. So I'm going to go ahead, just because I'm used to starting with the dark. Go around this. Color this part in. And this one. Now, you could definitely use just our Stampin' Up markers too. But with that, you would have to find different colors, since we don't have a lighter daffodil and a darker daffodil like we do with the blends. And I also like how the blends don't leave lines or streaks when you color with them. There's still a lot of things to use our Stampin' Up markers on, and I love our new tip for the writing, the small tip. I really like the new ones on that. A lot better than the way they used to be. Okay, now I'm going to make the rest of it the light Daffodil Delight. It does not look like crushed curry. The dark really does. So it works out just fine. I would still like to have a crushed curry, but this works just fine. And the lighter one definitely looks more like daffodil. Okay, so I got that colored in. And then this will be the last of what I need to color in for this card. There we go. Just coloring that in really makes Santa pop a little more, doesn't it? The white, you could definitely keep it white around it. Are you sold already, Carrie? Good. I'm glad you're liking it. There we go. Isn't that cool? I love that stained glass look. Okay. I think that is definitely what makes the set so much fun, having the stained glass look. Okay, I'm going to get these out. I'm trying to stay a little more organized, so I'm not looking for things for every card. So let's put this over to the side. Grab this card base again. I'm going to put this on with dimensionals. So I'll turn that over. Let's see, Michelle, you're saying you totally love the set, the stained glass. Isn't that gorgeous? I love the stained glass. Okay, and Santa's cute. I really like, sometimes we get sets that just looks like Santa to me. I just really like it. Now we've got a neat set that's coming in the, if you like old-fashioned looking Santas, there's a set like that in the holiday catalog. I think it's going to be cool. Can't show you any of the pages inside, but that kind of gives you a little hint of something you'll see. Okay, I'm going to put this up here. I get to pre-order next week. I'm really excited about that. Okay, so I'm going to put that there. Now I've got my greeting. This one, because I kind of want to tuck it underneath, I'm just going to use my seal. on this one. I'm going to stick this under here a little bit. And I kind of like, you don't have to, you can do it more like that. Let me go back and forth and just see where, it depends on where you've got it. I actually think I like it better over here. My original, I put it all the way to the edge, like so. But now this one, I think I've got the circle over a little more, so I kind of like it over a little more. It's just whatever looks best to you. So there's the front. Before the bling, we still have bling. Let's go ahead and get that inside in first. And there's the inside. Oh, I'm getting out of the camera. I knew I'd do that when I got it zoomed up a little bit. We've got that. And there's that. And now I'm going to grab my Festive Pearls. And these are cherry cobbler, but when you put them with the real red, they look like real red. So they work with both. So I'm going to put one, and they're all the same size. Right here. If they have to be one size, I'm glad they're these smaller ones, because those are the ones I use the most. When I have my pearls, I really like the small ones. So I just decided to put it there on the greeting, because I thought the greeting looked kind of plain. So there is the first card. Isn't he cute? This could make, I mean, you could make Christmas tags with this. You could make little gift bags with it. There's just a lot of different things. It doesn't just have to be for cards. Really cute. Oh, thanks, Anne. I'm glad you like the colors and everything, too. Thanks. Okay. Making sure I'm not missing anything. It does have that. I like the candy cane look, too, Michelle. That's neat. Thanks. Oh, thanks, Peggy. I'm glad you like it. And Chris, over on YouTube, I'm going to try to differentiate since I've got two Chris's. There we go. So let me get this out. Now this packet is going to look a little different from the one you get if you place the order to get the free kit. Because I wanted to show you how I did the cuts and everything, okay? And then I'll show you what the actual pack looks like. You kind of saw it earlier, but not enough to really see what this is going to look like. So this is a 11-inch by 4 1/4. So it is a half sheet of cardstock, but it's cut lengthwise instead. Now, you don't need your trimmer because I'm going to go ahead. It was easier for me for one of the things I have to do for you to do the punching with the circle punch. Well, actually, circle die. I needed to do the scoring and the cutting so I could do that circle. So the halfway point of the 11 is 5.5. I want to make sure I use the light blade. That's the scoring blade. I'm going to line this up at 5.5. There we go. I always go over it a few times. With the Simply Scored scoring tool, you only need to go over it once. But with this, you have to go over it a couple times to get a nice crease there. Okay? So there is that. Now, this is the front of my card, and I want to cut off the top half of it. Okay? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to line this left edge up with a 2 1/8 side, because half of 4 1/4 is 2 1/8. Bring up the cutting one this time. And I don't know if you can see, but there are lines right here on the sides. That is telling you where the blade is at. So I'm going to bring this down, and I'm going to line, these lines I'm seeing right here are going to line up with the score line here. I'm trying to get my microphone so I'm not getting away from it. We'll bring this all the way down and stop right when that line is pointing to that score line. Okay? Then I'm going to bring this over. I'm going to cut this part off here. So this can get lined up at 5.5, and I'm also going to look and make sure that score line is in the groove here in the cutting, in the trimmer. And once again, I'm going to take these lines and line it up with that cut. I'm kind of at an angle, so hopefully I'm getting this right. I think I got it. Oh, yep, I did. So that took that off, okay? And this is called a barn door card. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and grab, now this is not going to be attached, but it's easier to do it because what I'm going to do, well, I'll just explain it later, but this is a piece from the One Horse Open Sleigh. That's what the one side looks like, but this looked better with the angel that I'm going to be using. So this is 5 3/8 by 2. That makes it so it fits that. There's just a really narrow border around it. So let's add this on. Well, There we go. I didn't want to go there for a minute. So put this right along the flap. I can see it. I might have cut it just a little too long, but I think it's going to be fine. Oh, yeah, that's fine. So the reason I put the paper on there first is I'm going to die cut a half a circle out of here, okay? So let me grab this. Had to get my big one out this time because this is too wide to go through the mini one. So I'm going to open this up. I'm using the Stylish Circles dies again. If I can grab them here. Use these a lot. And I'm going to be using the second largest. So I'm going to grab this one. Now, I could have used that 2 3/8 circle punch. So if you make these on your own without the card kit, you can definitely use that 2 3/8. But I liked the thing that's neat about the Stylish. It's got stitching on the inside and the outside. So when I put this down, I'm going to be taking this part out. So I'm still going to have like a stitched border on the outside since this also does it on the outside. So I'm going to put this down. I think I'm going to go ahead and put some tape on here just to be on the safe side. Run this through. And that's actually all the die cutting I'm going to need to do tonight. Get this off. And this is Post-it note tape in case you didn't know. You can definitely use Post-it notes. Those work just as good. So now I've got that half circle out of there. Okay. Now I'm going to show you the kit. Oh, where'd it go? Here we go. And show you what I did. Because I didn't know if you'd have the dies, and I always say I do all the die cutting for you. So I took the paper, so I scored it, cut the top half off, and then I just laid this down on there and die cut, okay? And then when you go to put this on, you just line up that circle and put it on your card. Oh, sorry, I'm getting out of the screen. There you go. So this one you still need to attach, but I die cut it that way, just made sure I held on to the paper so it didn't move. And this is what your kit will look like if you get the kits. So I will actually have all that done. You just need to put it together. Okay. I don't always do that, but since I had to do that circle, I did have to go ahead and do the scoring for you on this one. But if you don't have a score and you're starting from scratch, you could just fold that 4 1/4 by 11 inch piece in half. And then you could cut and it would work just as well because that's just the halfway point. Yeah, isn't that neat, Chris? I really like that because now I don't know if you can see this. Oh, yeah, I think you can. See the stitching right around there? So if you use the negative of the die, you've got a stitched frame. And then if you, let's see where I threw that. And then if you keep the circle, you've got a stitching around the outside of the circle. So yeah, that is really cool. I love that. So now I'm going to grab a piece of basic white and crushed curry. That's all I'm using are 3 pieces of cardstock. I couldn't believe it when I put this card together. I could have just gotten by with just 2, but I wanted to border around this white one. This one is a 5 1/4 by 4 inch piece of crushed curry. And this piece is I should remember this, it's a 5 inch by 3 3/4. So it's just going to go right here in the center. Normally I would stamp first, but I'm going to show you why I'm going to go ahead. Well, I still could. I'm going to do this. I'm always paranoid that if I don't get it stamped just right, I want to be able to still turn it over and use the other side. So I'm going to lay this down. I'm going to get it centered. You can definitely attach all this first if you're worried about it moving on you. But that's just going to be in the center of the inside. And then I'm going to bring this over. Now I'm going to bring in the angel and my memento. Let me grab this again. I'm probably going to have to lay that down again. I meant to ink this up before I started doing all that. So get this inked up. Now I want to make sure I get this paper in the right spot again. But like I said, you can definitely attach all this before. I know when I do lives, a lot of times I stamp wrong, so I want to be able to turn this over. Lay that down. And this is just going to go right inside that opening. There we go. We'll hold that down for a few seconds. There we go. So that fit right into that opening. Oh, good, Chris. I'm glad you saw the stitching. I was hoping you could. And now I wanted to use this little bell. I love the bell. All the images in this set are really cool. So let's get this inked up. I don't think I inked that up very well. Let me do that again. Oh, yeah, I forgot to twist. There we go. And then I'm going to put this up here. Okay, now I can go ahead and take this out. And then I wanted to do, let's see, use the Peace and Joy. And it's curved just right that it'll stamp right above this. I'm going to use crushed curry. I'm going to show you like the papers. Well, I do. This one's a pretty paper set. I like it. I'm going to put this up at the top. I'm making sure that Y is up a little higher. The first time I stamped it on my first one, the Y got into my angel part. So I just move it up a little bit higher than what you think you need, and it's perfect. I love how that curves just right for that circle. Okay, now I'm going to hurry up and do some coloring. Now this one takes a few colors. I'm going to be using boho blue on the angel's dress. I'm going to start with my dark again. I'm going to make, now this is one where you want to do 2 layers of the dark. The boho blue, the dark and the light are real close together. It's definitely different, but I want these to show a little more different than usual. I want the dark to be a little darker, there we go, than usual. So I'm going to color this in. I really like this angel a lot. And this section here, I think that's all. Yeah, this is all I'm going to do with the dark boho blue. Now the card base is Misty Moonlight. I don't know if I said that. I was going to do Misty Moonlight, but there's just a little too dark for her dress. I like the boho blue, and I love how boho blue and Misty Moonlight go together. So I'm just going over this because, like I said, I want that dark to be a little darker. There we go. Now the rest of her dress I'm going to do with the light boho. And I don't need to do 2 layers of this. I want to keep this light. So let's do her sleeve here. This section. Okay. Almost done. One more section. Sometimes, and there are other little sections, like you could make this part of her dress too. But I think this is probably, I thought this looked good, so this is how I'm going to do it. There we go. So if you wanted to have a wider skirt, you could even fill in a little bit more, because those could definitely work as part of her skirt. So you've got options. Oh, and you know what? Since I've got this out, I'm going to go ahead and color in the bow, because I wanted it to be in boho blue too. And this will show you how it doesn't matter which, if you start with light or with dark with this. Do the top part here. So I'm kind of alternating like I did with that last one. Let's make this one light. And this top one. And then this one. And I think I'm going to do the rest of them with the dark. Oh, nope, I do want this one light. That's a little too much dark there. Here's the dark boho blue. And I will be done with the boho blue. I'm kind of scribbling a little bit because I'm trying to get done quick, but it still looks fine. Like I said, I'm going over that dark over one more time just because I want it a little bit darker. So there we go with that. Done with the boho blue. Now I'm going to grab my Daffodil Light because I thought I'd make her be a blonde. So I'm going to take a couple sections here with a dark daffodil. So I thought that could be a little bit darker than the rest of her hair is going to be with the light Daffodil Delight. So now her hair is done. I'm going to leave her wings white. I'm going to grab, let's see here. Oh, the ivory from that bronze and ivory set. We'll do her face and then her hands. Okay. And then I'm going to do crumb cake. and alternate around her. You could do yellow if you wanted to, but you could make her have crumb cake hair and do yellow around her. But I wanted to have more of a muted color. I didn't want it as bright as the Santa one. So here's my dark crumb cake. I'll do this here. But if you definitely want this to be brighter, then you could swap it out and do the yellow on this part. Now I'm going to make this dark crumb cake. Skip another one. Do this one. Hope you're not getting bored watching me color, but at least it doesn't take too terribly long since it's not intricate. Okay, and I'm going to do a little bit under here, under her wing. And then this little bitty section right here. So there's all the dark crumb cake. Here comes the light crumb cake. I tend to go around the edges first and then color in the inside. That way I can just go slow along the edges, and then I can go a little faster with filling the rest of it in. That's how I used to color with my crayons. I'd always go around the outside and then color in the rest of it. That's probably why I still do it this way, just habit. Get that all done. There we go. And then I've got this section here. And then this section here. Okay, now I wanted to do a border here. I'm going to do blue. This time I'm going to use Misty Moonlight. But if you don't have that many blends, you could definitely use the boho blue. Just using one set's fine, but I kind of wanted the border to be a little darker. So here's my dark Misty Moonlight. Do this one here. You could even leave the border white if you wanted to. Or you could color it yellow too. That would look cool. If you want to make it brighter, you definitely could do that. So I'm just skipping. Almost done. Now I am going to be using yellow on the bells. So that's going to definitely brighten it up. But I like the dark colors too. And one more dark. And now bring in the light Misty Moonlight. Now this I don't have to be as careful because I can definitely go over into the dark sections without messing it up, with this being the lighter. And this is another blue. The shades aren't that much different, but to be honest, once they dry, they do lighten up. So this lighter one will lighten up. And if I really wanted to, I could go through, but see, I can already tell the ones that I did a minute ago at first are lighter, so it is definitely lighting up, so you can see the difference. So the angel's mostly done. I'm going to be adding a little more to that in a minute, but done with the blends anyway. And I'll hurry up and do the bells. This is once again with the Daffodil Delight, so I'm going to do the dark in sections. I decided to do the little bell knocker, I guess you call it. There we go, make those darker. I'm sure I don't come up with the right words. I struggle with that anyway, but I definitely struggle with it with Alive. When I'm coloring, it's like, I can't think of anything right now. I'm coloring. I'm going to do this little section dark. The trick is just to kind of alternate them so there's some space in between. So that way you can see it just makes it a little more eye appealing, I guess you could say. Here's the light daffodil. Isn't that bell neat? I really like this too. There we go. So now I'm all done coloring this one, except I got to looking at it and I thought, okay, this is an angel and those are bells. They need some Wink of Stella. So I'm going to grab my clear Wink of Stella. Now, if you wanted to color the whole thing, you definitely could. I went back and forth with the angel. At first, I was only going to do the wings because I thought, okay, those are just plain white and they need to be colored. You could have some glitter to them. So I doubt very much that you're going to see this. That's the one bad thing with Wink of Stella on a video. You cannot see the neat glitter. But when I got done with it, I thought, you know what? I'm going to just do the angel, her dress too. So I'm doing her dress. Every once in a while I shake this up to make sure the glitter comes out so it doesn't come out in globs. And it also kind of helps it come out a little better too. If you don't shake it up, you'll have some that comes out without any glitter. So that's why you want to shake it up. So we're going to do her wings. I don't think I did her hair. I think I just did her dress. But you do whatever you want to do. Like I said, you could make this whole thing glitter since it's a stained glass. And then I'm going to have to get in the light to make sure I got it covered good. Boy, I wish you could see this because it really looks neat in person. I always like Winkostella. Sometimes I forget to use it. I want to make sure the wings are good and shiny, though, because those were just plain white. So now I've got her dress gleaming and her... You might be able to see it a little bit. You can see it a little bit, I can tell. But you can't. It just looks so much better in person. And then I'm going to make the bells glittery. I'm not going to do the ribbon. This time I thought the bells usually shine, so those should be the ones with the glitter on them. Just go over it. And that it's not going to make the blends bleed, because this is probably, I guess, water-based. It's not alcohol-based like the marker, so it's not going to make them bleed. I wish you could see that, but it looks so neat shiny. Oh, thanks, Anne. I'm glad you're liking this one. And it does make her pop, doesn't it, Chris? I like it a lot. Okay, I'm going to see if I'm on my Facebook. Oh, good, Michelle. I'm glad you're loving it. Good. I'm glad you're not bored, too. I'm always worried you guys are going to be getting bored watching me color. Okay, so we've got that one done. Now we can finish this card up. All done with the coloring and the stamping. So now the stamping, if I had stamped wrong, then I could have turned it over. Once you color with the Stampin' blends, you can't turn it over because it bleeds through. That is what it's supposed to do. So I'll put this right here in the middle. And then I will attach this one on. I'm going to get this right in the center. I'm going to lay it down first. I'm not going to push it down to where it really attaches. I want to make sure. And it did. That looks good. So I'll go ahead and push this down. So that is the barn door. I love how the circle goes. And this is kind of a variation of the barn door because not all the barn door fun folds have a half circle cut out. But I thought that looked neat with this. And then you've still got room to write your name or something on there. And if you like to write a lot, you could put another piece of paper back here and write a message on it too. But that is the barn fold. But we do need bling, don't we? I almost forgot. This time I'm going to use gold. I went back and forth, silver or gold, but I think I'm going to do the gold. Find my take your pick tool. Oh, where did I put that? Because here, I'll just grab this one. I've got a backup. I know it's here somewhere. So I'm going to grab the gold ones. I thought it would look neat. Put this down here on the bell. And I thought the bow needed a little something, so I'm going to put it right there in the middle of the bow. And then I still want a little bit of gold over here, so I'm just going to put a couple right up here. If you want to add more, you definitely can. But there. So there is the card. That's the barn door card. So we've got one more card to go. Hope you guys like that one. I'm going to stop just a second and look at your comments here. Good, Anne. I'm glad you like it. Becky, thanks. And Chris. Shaking the Stella. That's definitely what I was doing. Okay. Now I'm going to grab, there it is, my last pack. Now this one, I wished I had some brighter Christmas colors, I have to admit. But it still works. I'm using the One Horse Open Sleigh again. But for the colors I was using, the sides that had the blues and everything, the landscape stuff just wouldn't work. So I'm using the wood side on this one. This one is a 2x4. Oh, I just realized, like a 2x4 board. Didn't even think of that when I cut that. And this is a 3x3, okay? And this is really neat ribbon. This is part of the online exclusives. This is the real red and gold dotted ribbon. You can see, you can see how the gold is really shiny. It's not just gold color. It's got the shine of gold too. Okay, so what I'm going to do, this is the card base that is the regular 5.5 by 8.5. It's shaded spruce. Go ahead and fold this in half, and then I'll put it to the side. Grab my bone folder. And I'll put this to the side for right now. This one is done with the Merry Melody 3D embossing folder. I had it here, but I've covered it up. Oh, well, it's one of the 6 by 6 ones, so it's a 6 by 6 square. So that way, if I were doing a landscape card, I could have the notes going the right direction on a landscape card since it's a wide embossing folder. So that's a 4 by 5.25 of crumb cake. I'm going to grab this 3 by 3 square. I promise I know my shapes. Go ahead and put this on. This is going to go right in the middle, like so. And then the wood one here. This is the one that was 2 inches by 4 inches, and it's just going to go right here across the middle too. Okay. Now this is a 6-inch piece of that ribbon. I'm going to put some adhesive. Let me grab my silicone mat. Every time I don't get it, I always get adhesive on this, and I don't want to do that. Now I'm going to put this right around here, like so. This is the bottom. There we go. Make sure it's straight. I'm kind of looking at these corners here, trying to make them look a little even, so that way I know it's straight. Okay, now that the ribbon is on there, I can go ahead and put this on the card base. And I'm going to put a little adhesive on the ribbon too. Bring in this card. There we go. And now I've got this circle. This one is done with that same second largest circle in the Stylish Shapes dies. This is real red. It's out of a 2 3/4 by 2 3/4 inch piece. And then I did once again out of a 3 by 2 3/4 inch piece of basic white. Punch this out with that 2 3/8 circle punch. Now I could have done the next smaller circle in the Stylish Shapes dies, but I wanted a narrow border. If I went with the next one, it was going to be back down to here. There we go, on the border, and I didn't want that much red showing. I just wanted a little bit showing. So that's why I did that. So those circles do go together with our punches, which is nice. Okay, we need to do some stamping on here. Now this time that those the Santa and the angel are the only two that are circles. But I'm going to grab the Very Merry. This is another greeting that's got the circle you can put on top of one of the circles, but this time it's going to go above the pretty bird that's in this set. I'm going to use my real red. I think it's easier to stamp the greeting first. And kind of line it up. There we go. So now I'm going to make sure that looks straight. I think I'm done. Well, no, I will be stamping with that in a minute, but we'll go ahead and close it. Oops. Now I've got my bird. Use my memento. And I'm just going to stamp this. Make sure that Very Merry's in the right spot again. And this will just go right underneath. There we go. And then on the inside, oops, you know what? I messed up. I meant for this to be crumb cake. I thought sure I did that right. You know what? Let me look here. Nope, I messed up. That's okay. It'll still work. I'll change it I'll show you my original. I thought sure I cut that. This will still look good. So you can go back and forth if you want to do it in white because it's still going to look good in white. I'm going to use my real red. There were only 2 stamps I hadn't used in the stamp set. The gingerbread house, and I really like the gingerbread house too. So I'm just going to stamp it in red on the bottom right corner. This is a 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece. And then I'm going to grab the shaded spruce, and the other greeting I didn't use was Oh What Fun. And I'm just going to stamp it right here next to our gingerbread house. There we go. me show you my original. That's what it looks like in crumb cake. So either way looks good. So this is with the crumb cake, that's with the white. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put this on the inside of the card. And then I just need to color the bird and put him together. And the bird goes really fast. He's small. So just put this in the center. Bring him in. Always like to have some paper underneath since it does bleed. That way I know it's not going to hurt my workspace. I'm going to use boho blue again. And I'm going to use crumb cake and shaded spruce. And then I'm going to use the dark daffodil delight. I'll go ahead and do this real quick because I only need that for his beak. There we go. And I'm going to do the crumb cake. I'm going to be doing the branch. So this is the dark crumb cake. So I'm going to do this down here on this lower section. And I think this whole twig here at the bottom is going to be dark crumb cake. And I'm going to do a little section here. And I think that's all. Yep, that's all I did with the dark crumb cake. Now I'll grab my light and color in the rest of the branch. Okay, that looks good. And then this time I'm just going to, oh no, I take that back. I am doing different colors. I'm going to do dark shaded spruce here. I forgot when the leaves had two different sections. Now these are just one section, so I'm going to do the lower one with the dark shaded spruce. And then I'll take the light shaded spruce and color in the rest of them. And all that's left is our little birdie. He's going to be the boho blue. So I'm going to do this one with a dark boho blue. And then this section here. Of course, you can do whatever section you want. You do not have to do it exactly like mine. Mine is just a guideline. If you want to change the colors up, you can do that. And that one, and then I'm going to do the center section here. And then these two little sections right here. So that's all I'm going to do with the dark boho blue. The rest of it, I'm going to use the light. This one, like I said, I don't have to be as careful because it's okay to get some of the light on the dark because it won't show up. A little bit more. And I went back and forth on whether to keep his face white or not, but then I decided to make him all blue. So there he is with the different colors. That stained glass effect is just so cool. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put this on the center of that circle. It just gives a nice little border, and it also gives a stitching border around it too. There we go. Try to get it angled so you can see the stitching. Now I'll turn this over. Once again, I'm going to use dimensionals. Oh, there they are. That second card was the first time I hadn't used dimensionals. Now I'm going to make sure my Very Merry is at the top. Let me get back in here. Because this is going to be going over this ribbon here at the bottom. So I'm going to put two. I just want to make sure I've got two up here because I don't want dimensionals on the ribbon. It's okay if it does, but it'll stay on a lot better if it's mainly on the cardstock. So that should be plenty. Get my Take Your Pick tool out. Take these off. And this little guy is just going to go right here. Actually, I'm going to put it on the right. I almost put it on the left. It would look good on the left too, so whichever side you want it to go on. And I'm trying to make it so you see. Let me put this down and I'll show you. I still want to see some of the red down here. Of course, the brown. Oops, I'm sorry. I'm getting out of the screen again. There we go. It helps to be zoomed in so you can see better, but then I forget how little space I've got left. So there we go. Now I just need to put some bling on there. Now, you can use whichever. If you wanted to use gold, you definitely could since there's gold in there. But since I'd already used it, I went back and forth between the silver and this light green. I thought, well, since the card base is green, I'm going to go with the light green. Like I said, you can do whatever color you want to do. I'm going to grab the light green because I thought it complemented the darker green just fine. And then I'm going to put a couple up here. Oops. There we go. So there is the last card. That went pretty quick. I think that's the quickest class we've had for a while, even with all that coloring. So let me get all of these out of the way. Bring in my cards so you can see them. There we go. Let's get them in the order I did them in. So that is the So Very Merry Christmas, my card class at home, last Christmas in July. Oh, thanks, Patty. I'm glad you love it. Thanks, Anne. Thanks, Michelle. Isn't that bird cute? I love the bird too. Looks like the blending pens, which are alcohol. They are, yes. Oh, since I've got those. Aren't they wonderful, Donna? I love the blends. They're my favorite. Oh, thanks, Chris, over on Facebook. I'm glad you liked them. Yeah, I have to admit, I think I color with the blends, Stampin' Blends, more than anything. I really, really like them. I still like to watercolor with my water painters and my and ink pads with the blending, blender brushes. Blending pens. There we go. I like to use those too. But I use the blends a lot. Oh, thanks, Christy. And Chris on Facebook. Glad you're liking them. Oh, thanks, Marva. Glad you guys are liking these cards. Like I said, I wish I'd had Christmas paper, but I still think they turned out pretty good. Not too bad. Those images, the stamp set, like I said, was not what made it hard for me. I just really wanted to have Christmas paper. But that's okay. I'll have it soon. Oh, thanks, Don. I'm glad you like all of them. Okay. Well, that is it for another Christmas in July. Like I said, I can't believe it's the last one. This July went so fast. Oh, hi, Mary Alice. Oh, that's okay. Yeah, you can definitely watch the replay, and that'll be going up here in just a minute. But you got in before the live was over, so you're going to get in the drawing for the red rhinestones. So you still got about a minute or so, everybody. If you want to get the red rhinestones, get in the drawing for that. Make sure you comment here during the live. Once the live is over, then the names will stop. I'll just put all of the everybody's names that commented during the live into that wheel, and then I'll come back and post who won. So make sure you come back in about an hour, because I think I'm going to have a lot of names again like last week. I'm really glad you guys could all come and watch. Oh, yeah, Christy, yep, you agree with me of the Stampin' Blends. Yeah, me too. I just feel like I'm more of an artist with those because you can do all the blending and everything. Yeah, I love the blends. Oh, thanks, Anne. I'm glad you like all three of them. The Santa's adorable, isn't it, Christy? I really like that one. I went back and forth between these two. Oh, I forgot you're not looking at me, so I'll do this. These are my two favorite. Oop, wrong way. You always have to go backwards. There we go. Those are my favorite too. But that Santa, I have to admit, that is really cute. He's adorable. So, like I've said, if you want to place an order, you have to live in the United States to order from me. I have to let you know that ahead of time. That's Stampin' Up rules. But if you would like to get the card kits to make each of the cards I made tonight, then there's a link to my online store down in the video description. You can click on that. Make sure you see that host code that you see in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. But you can also click that card class at home link below. Click on that. You'll find the host code. There's also a link on that page that adds the host code on for you, so you don't have to worry about the host code. Now, if you place a $150 order before shipping and tax, make sure you do not use that host code. You're still going to get the card kits to make the to each of the cards. You're also going to get a full pack, if I can find them. Oh, well, the Festive Pearls, the pearls you saw me using, you're going to get a full pack of those if you place a $150 order before shipping and tax. Just take that host code off, though. That way, Stampin' Up will give you Stampin' Rewards, because I want you to be able to get those free. But if it's under $150, you definitely have to use that host code. That helps defer my costs on giving away the embellishments and the card kits and stuff. So I hope that makes sense. If it didn't, just click on that card class at home link, because I know I covered that kind of fast. If you're like me, sometimes reading is better than listening to what somebody's saying. Let's see. Carrie said, the bird would also be great on the barn door layout. It would. It definitely would. Really, all of these would look good with that barn door. I'm going to go ahead and go back down to this quick, but I agree. Well, I thought I was going to. Come on. There we go. I think my computer's getting tired. But yeah, you could definitely swap out any of these images for that barn door too. The bird would definitely look pretty on that. So I hope you guys enjoyed the class. Oh, thanks, Mary Alice, for sharing. I appreciate that. Yeah, isn't the set neat? I really like it a lot. Okay, I think we are done for the night and done with Christmas in July. But don't worry, Christmas cards will be coming again, I'm sure. I know they will be. Next month, I'll be doing more annual catalog stuff. So come back and see me next Thursday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And in the meantime, I'm hoping the week got away from me. I was hoping I was going to have a video up this week. I like to do other recorded videos on my YouTube channel. So if you haven't subscribed to that yet, make sure you subscribe. And then when you see the little bell icon, select all that where YouTube will notify every time I upload a video and when I go live. And Facebook, I think, has something that you can click on to make it lets you know when I go live too. Oh, thanks, Michelle. I'm glad you loved the class. So I will see. I'm going to make sure I'm not missing anybody here on YouTube. Nope, I think we're good. So I'll see you next week. Have a great week. Stay cool. I probably will be in the house a lot. It's going to be the 90s, high 90s the rest of the week, I think. So take it easy. See you later. Bye.